Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Now let's get started. Hey cousins. Did you know there was a woman so talented, so bold, and so ahead of her time that she shook up the music industry and fought for civil rights at the same time? Well, let me introduce you to legendary Hazel Dorthy Scott. I am so excited to cover her today because I come from a musical family. Everyone in my family can sing. However, I am the only one in my family who cannot sing. Now, my dad and my grandmother, they're going to disagree with me. But I can't sing. I can arrange music. I can write music. I can hear music. I can recognize a star. I can't sing. I can dance. I can write. But singing, baby, that skip right past me to the next generation. Hazel Dorthy Scott was born June 11th, 1920, in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. She was a child prodigy, and when her family moved to the U.S., she was already turning heads with her musical genius. Her mother, Alma Long Scott, was a classically trained pianist and her first teacher. By the time Hazel was 8, she had been accepted into the prestigious Juilliard School in New York. Something absolutely unheard of for someone so young. Now let's talk about her signature style. Hazel didn't just play classical music, she remixed it. She took Bach, Rachmaninoff, and Gershwin and added a jazz twist to it, making classical music cool before it was a thing. She was known for playing 2 pianos at once. Yes, y'all heard me. 2 pianos at the same time. Now, if that isn't talent, I don't know what is. But let's keep it real. Being a Black woman in entertainment in the 1930s and 40s was no easy ride. Hazel faced racism head-on, refusing to perform in segregated venues and demanding equal treatment wherever she went. When she started acting in films, she refused to play the stereotypical maid roles that Hollywood tried to give Black women at the time. Instead, she played glamorous, elegant musicians because that's what she was. Hazel was also the first Black woman to have her own national television show, The Hazel Scott Show, in 1950. Imagine the impact of seeing a confident, talented Black woman headlining her own TV show in the 1950s. This show aired on the now defunct Dumont Television Network and showcased Hazel's incredible musical talent. She played classical jazz and boogie-woogie pieces while engaging with her audience in a way that had never been seen before. Unlike other programs at the time, The Hazel Scott Show broke racial barriers by featuring Black and white musicians performing together. It was a major step forward in an era where segregation still dominated American society. Hazel used her show not only to entertain, but to challenge the status quo, making it clear that talent had no racial boundaries. The show quickly gained popularity, and the audience loved seeing her natural charisma and brilliance on display. However, this success was short-lived. But of course, America wasn't ready for all that Black excellence. During the Red Scare, when people were being accused of communism left and right, Hazel was called before the House UN American Activities Committee. She boldly defended herself, making an impassioned speech about her love for America and her right to artistic freedom. However, the backlash was swift, and within a week of her testimony, the Hazel Scott Show was canceled. Her career in television, once so promising, was effectively destroyed by baseline political fear-mongering. My algorithm is telling me that you're watching, but you're not subscribing. Quit treating me like the cousin you don't like. Subscribe and share. Even though Hollywood turned its back on her, Hazel kept performing and fighting for justice. She married Congressman Adam Clayton Powell Jr., one of the most powerful black politicians of his time, and together they were a power couple. Powell was a civil rights leader who fought tirelessly against segregation and racial injustice. As a congressman, he pushed his policies that benefited black community, including equity, employment opportunities, and desegregation in public places. With Hazel's fame and Adam's political influence, they became the most influential black couple of their time. Hazel Scott was a trailblazing musician and actress whose exponential talent earned her significant financial success during a time when racial and gender barriers were prevalent. In the late 1930s and the early 1940s, she commanded a weekly salary of $4,000 performing at New York's prestige cafe, Society, one of the first integrated nightclubs in the United States. To put this in perspective, $4,000 per week in 1940 translates to about $60,000 per week in today's dollars, considering inflation. This remarkable income underscores her status as one of the highest paid black entertainers of her era. By 1945, Hazel Scott's annual earning reached $75,000, which is equivalent to round up to about $1.1 million in today's salary. This substantial income not only reflects her immense popularity and talent, but also highlights her pioneering role in breaking racial and gender barriers in the entertainment industry. Her financial success was a testament of her exponential artistry and her unwavering commitment to equality and representation in the arts. Together, they had a son, Adam Clayton Powell III, who followed in his parents' footsteps as an academic journalist and media executive. Growing up in a household full of activism and artistry, he witnessed firsthand the power of music and politics in shaping history. Hazel was a dedicated mother who balanced her demanding career with raising her son, ensuring his understanding the importance of both education and justice. Hazel's activism didn't stop in Hollywood. She used her fame to fight against Jim Crow laws, regularly calling out racist policies, and using her platform to bring awareness to injustice. When she toured the country, she refused to play in segregated venues, even turning down high-paying gigs when they required black and white audience to be separated. She once famously sued a restaurant in Washington, D.C. after they refused to serve her because of her race. And guess what? She won. Later in life, Hazel moved to Paris, where she continued to perform and live a little more peaceful away from America's racial tensions. She wasn't alone in this move. Many artists, including Josephine Baker and James Baldwin, found refuge in France, where they were treated more respectful than in their home country of America. But Hazel never forgot her roots. She eventually returned to the U.S. in the 1980s, reconnecting with the jazz scene and inspiring a new generation of musicians. Sadly, she passed away October 2nd, 1981, from cancer. But her legacy, oh baby, is still alive and well. Hazel Scott wasn't just a pianist, she was a revolutionary. She was a fighter. She was a woman who refused to be put in a box. She also used her platform to advocate for racial equity. Once famously walked off a film set when she saw black and white musicians being forced to sit separately. Hazel didn't just talk the talk, she walked it, played it, and lived it. Even in her later years, Hazel remained dedicated to the arts and education. She mentored young musicians and spoke about the importance of artistic freedom. She believed that music was a universal language that could bring people together, and she proved it every time her fingers touched the keys. Today, her influence can still be seen in jazz, film, and civil rights movements. Artists like Alicia Keys and Robert Glasper owes a debt to Hazel's trailblazing spirit. When we talk about Black excellence in the entertainment industry, her name deserves to be mentioned alongside the greats. So next time you hear a jazz remix, see a Black woman commanding the stage, or watching a musician refuse to compromise their values, just remember, Hazel walked so they could run. Hazel Scott, thank you for your brilliance, your courage, and your refusal to settle for less. Thank you for showing the world that Black women belong in every space, and we deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. You not only stood for Black women, but you stood for Black people. Your legacy lives on, and we honor you. Rest in power, Queen. So, cousins, have you ever heard of Hazel Scott before? Tell me, who else should I cover next? Do you like us covering musicians and celebrities? Let's keep these stories alive. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share. See y'all next time, cousins. Bye. My algorithm is telling me that you're watching, but you're not subscribing. Quit treating me like the cousin you don't like. Subscribe and share. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Bye, cousins.